Welcome to 5 Haunting Questions.
Hey guys, welcome in. This is an episode of my 5 Haunting Questions, and as you can see, I am here with Anne and Renata of Frightfully Good, but they're also known as the Ghost Grannies. That's right, isn't it? The Ghost Grannies?
Unfortunately, yes.
I kind of find that insulting because I am a granny myself, but you know.
I don't. I empower it.
I'm like you. It's slightly insulting. It
Not
puts
at all.
us in a category, and
but we're in the category.
I don't care.
But it just means we're older, wiser, and don't put up with BS. So
Exactly.
That's what I think. So,
then we
ladies,
should call the no BS grannies. The no BS gold.
What?
The no BS gold.
Oh, the no BS.
No BS grannies. That's a name. That's a name, right? So, ladies, for anyone who is watching who isn't familiar with you, as I am, do you want to tell them what it is you do and basically what your channel, what it's all about?
I'm looking at her.
Okay. Yes. Well, we got together a couple of years ago and decided to sort of bring together all of our knowledge and create sort of social media stuff. So we sort of run YouTube channels. We do a podcast, as you can see our shirts. We do the True Hauntings podcast. We've got about 150 odd episodes out now, and we look at haunted sites, we look at the history, and we try and look at what really is happening and determine whether a place is truly haunted or not. We have a lot of fun doing that, and we sort of inject some of our humor. We're slightly naughty, or maybe a little bit naughty.
So it's the Laboratorium. In other words, this is where they took a poop.
Oh, you can't see it. There you go. That's better.
So you can imagine them all lined up along there.
Oh, if this wall could talk, the stories it would tell.
It's seen some shit in its time.
And sort of make it fun rather than sort of the whole demonic thing, because we are about education. We do a lot of workshops. We do a lot of talking and educating people with regard to what is actually going on when you go ghost hunting or paranormal investigation, paranormal investigating, whatever you want to call it, and try and take the fear out of it. The fear is more about entertainment, and even though some of the things that we do we're trying to be entertaining, we're also trying to sort of get people to understand what's really happening behind it all and why people are so interested in the paranormal.
And I'm the quiet one.
Oh, I've watched videos. You're not that quiet.
And look, we actually have a new venture as well, which is Frightfully Good Haunted Holidays. We've got a group that we're taking over to Salem in October, and that's 10 days of investigating and visiting haunted locations and historical locations, and of course Salem. And then we're going to be running one at Norfolk Island in April next year.
Oh, well, I might come along to that one. Thank you, ladies. I'll
another
be there.
International one, maybe.
Hopefully, yes, another international one.
Depends how Salem goes. It's our first official one for overseas.
Yes, see how it goes. Maybe I can set you up for one to do one in Virginia City. That'd give you 10 days.
That's an idea.
It's an awesome idea.
There's tons of places. Yeah, well, just So in regard now, again, I'm very familiar with you, but because I do love watching you ladies work. in regard to personal experiences, paranormal experiences, we were talking earlier, guys, before I hit the record. As I was saying, I sort of started because of an experience I had with my son, and my viewers know what happened there. So that's what got me thinking, oh, this could be real. What sort of eventuated with the two of you? Where did you get this urge to do what you're doing now?
You start.
Look, I really had experiences quite young, as a toddler, and whether it was a toddler's imagination or whether it was real, I don't know. But I think it could have been an Indigenous spirit in a suburb called Stockton, where my grandparents lived, and I used to go and visit quite often. Then I'd have like the whole fascination with it through high school, and I have a very logical brain. I do have ADHD, and I reckon I've got a touch of autism as well. So I can take things very literally, and I would have trouble processing what I had seen and what I had experienced. But I think the thing that tipped me over the edge was an experience at Maitland Jail where I saw somebody walking ahead of me that when I turned my head back, they'd gone and they weren't on the tour. And the jail is a jail. Nobody can get in and out. And an experience that we had with our seance work that we did where I would work with music and I'd just have music pop into my head. I'd play music and I played a piece of music called Peyton Place. And I had no idea what it was. It just popped into my head. And the lady said, "Hello, Peyton. Thank you for coming through. Her daughter had died. Her name was Peyton." And that's when I went, what the hell just happened? And
wow,
I was in shock for the rest of that session.
And Peyton isn't a normal. Peyton's not a popular name. Like you don't hear that much.
No. I didn't know these people at all. Yeah. But that's what tipped me over to going, there is something going on here. I probably think 99% of what people think is paranormal is not. And that 1% is really interesting.
Yeah,
it is. Yeah, I'm agreeable with that. What about you, Renata?
A few of the same sort of things. My background is Polish, so my parents went through World War II. So I had, as a child, night terrors, and I think the night terrors were actually something that I got from my parents. And I was experiencing things as a child that a child shouldn't experience, and I didn't know where that was coming from. It's the same sort of weird fear of, dark, shadowy figures trying to run away, can't run away, all of this sort of stuff that, shouldn't have been in my childhood psyche at all, but was. Whether that's what started things, but it's like... I kind of think that sometimes the paranormal world chooses you, and I just have had that always. I can't even think of a life without it. And when I had the opportunity, I studied as a tarot card reader, so it was all about going into the spiritual side of things. So that was in my 20s. And so from my 20s to now, which is 40 years, I've been into that psychic world and studying everything that I can. I'm a qualified counsellor as well, which helps me distinguish,
so useful,
what is going on in a person's mind as opposed to what's going on externally. And trauma is one of those things that really sparks things. We don't even realize how much trauma has to do with some of the things that are going on. So for me, this is this constant learning. The more I learn, the more I feel that I can help people. And it's just complete fascination. I cannot live and breathe without this. I just have to do it.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'm a qualified counsellor too. I haven't done it for a while, but it's interesting because when you do have that knowledge base, you can see when you're talking to someone, and if you empathise with them a little and sort of look underneath the layers, hear what they say, and then think, what's going on under there? And it can sort of show you how a lot of people can think in the paranormal world, how they think it's one thing when it, like you said, 99% of the time it's not what you think it is. It's explainable. It's not paranormal.
But that 1%, just you kind of go, I need to know more. I need to know more.
need to know more. One question I ask everybody is, because it's just some people are interested, what do you think about aliens? Like, do you think they live here? Do you think they come
You
and
go
visit us?
first on this one.
Yeah, I don't know. What do you reckon? Do you think there's any such thing? Do you think it's look? Because I see that as paranormal. Because
Yeah.
paranormal is a huge umbrella. But what do
It's
you reckon?
unexplained.
Yeah,
It's one of those fascinating things that I haven't gotten a lot into. It's one of those things that's so mind blowing and yet so close to the surface that you kind of think, if I scratch this too much, I will know things or try and understand things that my poor little pea brain mind
yeah.
can't figure out,
It's explode.
can't grasp.
Yeah.
Pop its skin.
And my head will explode. So it's look, obviously things are happening. Obviously things have been so well documented that you can't say it's not happening. But where are they coming from is another thing that I'm not sure about. Are they here already or in another dimension? Are they actually
Interdimensional.
coming from somewhere else? Is one of those big questions that I just don't know.
I know it's very
I know the
mind-blowing.
government knows more than we think they know. I know that. I know it's a big secret. And I know, as usual, they are trying to and have been trying to for many years manipulate all of this for power and control.
Oh, they're protecting us.
And which is all bullshit. And
But no, seriously, there are some people that would just get guns out and start shooting
oh,
at
absolutely.
them because they won't stop to ask. So they do have to maybe protect them more than they do protect us. Who knows?
Yeah, and that's true. Like Bigfoot.
Yeah,
I should
let's shoot it and
look.
show everyone the corpse.
Look,
Look,
but
I've got it.
yeah, that's what I mean. Even with I've said it before too. Like if an alien spaceship did land and some little green people got out and said, "Hello, we are here. Take us to your leader." Like, yeah, I think people would pull out
to
guns
run
and
away.
Don't come here. Go away.
Go away.
There's idiots everywhere.
They're everywhere. I don't know. At the moment, I think we're better off than other countries, but only
Yes, we
just.
are. Yeah. As for me, I think we'd be very naive to think there wasn't something else out there. If we have the right conditions on this planet to create the life forms it has, then other planets surely will have created life forms for the ecosystem there. But I had an experience where
Oh yes, you
a
did.
very strange experience where I was used to teach singing. I was flying over to London to go and see one of my students who had hit the big time on the West End, and I'd always promised I'd come over, so I did, and I went over with my dad, and partway through the flight, when everyone was asleep, the sirens came on saying, warning, warning, dropping to a lower altitude, breach in the cabin. All the oxygen masks dropped out. And I'm just going, okay, what do we do? And you try to remember what they said at that opening. And there was people panicking around us. And then the captain came on and said, no, there's no breach. We don't know what's going on. And he'd get cut off by the alarms again. So eventually we landed to refuel with all these oxygen masks hanging down everywhere. And, we repacked the plane, got to England late because of the issue. And when I got into the motel and I went to go and get changed, I went to take my T-shirt off and it was stuck to my belly. And I've gone, what the hell? And I've looked down and there is a blood patch on my abdomen. And I had to soak it to get it off. And when I eventually got it off my skin, there was a whole, probably 3/4 of a centimetre in, whatever it is.
Adopted.
I don't know. And it was deep. It took weeks and weeks and weeks to heal. And unfortunately, at that stage, I didn't think to look at my watches to see if there was time loss or anything like that. I was just really exhausted and tired and couldn't work out why I had this hole in my abdomen, which there was no holes through my clothing or anything like that. There was no reason for it.
What about your
And
dad?
that explains how crazy you are, Anne.
But not only that, I was adopted, right, from birth, tried to get my DNA done 8 times. It kept failing. They could not get my DNA. It wasn't until my daughter did her DNA that my DNA was able to come up.
Ooh, Twilight Zone stuff.
I know, right?
Wow.
I'm a weird
have
one.
fun. Yeah. I'm going to have fun with this animation.
Go for it.
Wow. And look, I sometimes just ask a stupid question. So the stupid question, for example, that I ask the boys, if I have boys on, is what do you prefer? Jocks, briefs, G-string? You know, what do you prefer? Like what, you know? And then they all look at me and go, oh, and they always answer. But I figure for ladies, it's more along the lines of, for me, like when you get home from a long day of doing whatever, what's the first thing you like to do? Kick off your shoes and be bare feet, or get that bloody bra off and toss it across the room? I like to kick off the shoes and toss the bra myself.
Well, I kick my shoes off, shoes before bra. And I prefer Kmart undies with the bamboo that don't pull on your waist. So there you go.
Yeah, Nana undies.
Comfort. You go for comfort these days. Who gives a shit about anything else? I don't want to be picking flock out of my ass with a G-string. Don't even start me.
Oh God. So
it is. It's total comfort. I usually take off the things that I've worn out, where you're supposed to look like a normal human being, and put on the shittiest clothes that I have that are totally comfortable.
Oh, you didn't get time to change today.
Shut up. And that's me. So total comfort. That's what I want.
Sorry, the naughtiness is escaping.
And the thing is, with ADHD, you can have an aversion to certain materials and textures on your clothes, on yourself, because you just feel uncomfortable. It might look lovely, but you feel like you're screaming inside, and you just want to tear everything off. So, you know, cotton is your friend. Anything that's breathable. And ladies of our age, you'll understand very much what we're talking about. So
hot.
Yeah.
Luckily, I'm past the hot bit. I passed that. That was horrible.
I thought I was too, but we won't go there.
Yeah. Some people never get past it.
It's just, you know, the thing you go through as ladies, you get the hot flushes as you get older.
Yeah.
But they're horrible. But they're gone now. So look, I guess it leads me to my last question for you ladies. You've already sort of touched on it a little bit, but what would you like people to have a look at and check out? Your channel, obviously, which I will put a link to, and the podcast is the
True Hauntings podcast.
Yeah, and is that the one that you do with Dave on a Friday, or is that something different?
Yes,
it is.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
so yeah,
that one's edited down. If you want the full one, you go over to our True Hauntings. He cuts a lot of the fluff out. We tend to just rattle on. You know how we like to rattle on. He cuts them out. Bloody hell, Dave.
Dave.
Yeah, he'll be in trouble.
He cuts the weavers too.
I think a part of the charm with you ladies is the rattling on. It's just, I like it. So, all right, I'll put links to that in the thing, and I will get a link from you in regard to the holidays you offer, and let anybody know. How are you going with the Salem? Is it Salem you're going to in October? Is that one full? You've got a full?
Yes.
Yeah. We keep it very small. We only have. We don't want to really go more than 10 people.
More than that.
Yeah, it's too much. And they're good people. We like who's coming, so let's hope it goes well.
All right. Well, I'll definitely get details, or at least tell people where to keep an eye open for the one to Norfolk Island, which I am going to aim to come to. Thank you. Given it's just, well, not just off the coast, but it's off. It's kind of parallel to where I live, out on the ocean. If we fly there, we do get to fly in one of those aeroplanes that can land on the water if it has to, don't we?
No, they've got a decent airstrip there. It's not a problem. The only thing is they get the weather coming in occasionally, and it comes in quickly. So they've got to land before before the weather comes in. Otherwise, they get diverted back to Brisbane. But the other thing to look for is that the hangar, as they're landing, they hold up a sign to give the pilot a score for their landing.
I'm looking forward to it.
We had one landing that was a bit hard and the oxygen mask fell out.
We had one landing where we dropped out of the sky.
It's like bang. But it was because of the weather. Yeah.
It was fun.
I'm not too scared of flying. I've been in a few flights now, and you get that turbulence and you drop. I just keep my seatbelt on now when I'm in an aeroplane, just in case. Yeah, I just sit there with it on, and then that way, at least, I'm always worried though. When they bring you the nice hot coffee, and you got your little tray out in front, and then turbulence starts. I think, geez, the food. But if
it's
that
never
coffee,
hot.
it's bloody hot.
Never bloody hot.
All right. Well, I'll put links to everything. And what have you got coming up in the next few weeks? Where are you off to in just the next few weeks? Anything interesting?
Well, we've got some of our local tours that are going. We have a new place that we have added to our list of places that we investigate, and that is called Tokal Homestead, which is a beautiful old homestead about 40 minutes from where we are in the Hunter Valley, and that is just waking up to us at the moment. We've got people seeing things, feeling things, experiencing things, which is great. It's just kind of work until we get to Salem. So it's knuckling down, doing as much work as we can, so that we have
enough episodes of the True Hauntings podcast ready to go. And Diary of a Ghost Hunter. We do that too.
Diary of a Ghost Hunter too, yeah.
All right, I'll put links to everything, and also everybody, just so you know, is it just you that sells it and the equipment, the Paratech?
So I've got Australia's largest online paranormal equipment store, ozparatech.com. I don't sell the knockoffs and the rip-offs, the people who try to copy the equipment. I get it from the people who originally developed it.
And I have actually purchased. That's where I got my equipment from you.
Excellent!
I got one of the tiny. I bought 2 tiny Boo Bears, the little ones. And I gave one as a gift. Geez, I was generous. I brought 2. I got all my equipment from you, and it's good equipment.
Thank you.
So guys, if you need equipment and you live here in Australia, I don't know, do you ship overseas? Probably not, do you?
I'm not allowed to sell to America or anywhere else. I can sell to Australia and New Zealand.
Well, there you go, guys. Australia, New Zealand, if you're looking for equipment and it's Rigididge, it's good stuff, and you don't get ripped off, go check out the site. So I'll put a link to that again. All right.
And
well, this is
Renata can't forget Renata. Renata has Newcastle Ghost Tours.
Well, tell us.
Newcastle, what is it?
Newcastle Ghost Tours has been established for 13 years, and it is all about doing tours and investigations in and around Newcastle, the Hunter Valley, and we have a Sydney site at the moment. So,
multi-award winning.
I've tried really, really hard to create a solid business. It is a business. It is not a hobby, and it is not a charity. So you do have to pay to go on the tour. But I have a magnificent team, a team of people who look after everyone that is on the tour and make sure they're all safe, they're all having an experience, and it is all about them, the people, not the tour guides. And we just have a lovely time. Absolutely great. So,
I'll plug someone else's channel as well a little bit, Isaac Butterfield, right? Because these ladies... Right, I have to plug him because I don't know him from a bar of soap. I just know him from watching his shows. But these lovely ladies have been on his ghost episodes, his ghost hunting episodes. You actually came
Devil's Advocate.
Yeah, he's very cheeky, and it's a funny watch. All right, it's really funny. So I'll put a link to him in the. I'll try and find the actual episodes because I think you've made a few with him. I'm trying to think.
6
You've
or
made
7
a
of them,
few.
I think.
Yeah, and they're very, very funny, and they're places here in Australia that some of them I'd love to go to. I did go to the tunnel. Did you go? Was it him you went to the tunnel with, the old railway tunnel? I did go there, but I went during the day with my daughter, and I thought, oh gosh, it's really close to people's houses. But that was interesting. So I got to go there. I found it finally.
Here I am talking to you fine ladies, the ghost grannies.
Oh, I love it. She hates it.
Renata, let's cut the shit here, Renata. All right, this ghost granny business, it is the best name that anyone's ever come up with, and I reckon you just run with it.
Yeah, if you want to see more of what the ladies do, it's just funny, and I'll put a link to everything. All right,
Fabulous.
So go watch them. All right, please go watch them. And I honestly do plan. I will be coming to Newcastle because I drive through to go to visit my son in Canberra, my eldest boy. So I will make an effort to take one of your tours, Renata. I'll go and
let us know when you're coming. Yeah.
Oh, I will, and I look forward to meeting you ladies in person. And guys, they're just great. They're no nonsense. They're proper. They're proper Aussies. I trust them, and that's
With Bogan.
Yeah, but so yeah. Thank you so much, ladies, and
thank you for having us.
I do want to meet you in person, and guys, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoy, and please go and check out all the links that I'll pop down in the description. Bye.
Bye.